Well, good afternoon, Northern Michigan, from your National Weather Service right here in Gaylord. Welcome to the latest Hazardous weather briefing for Northern Lower and East Upper Michigan. Today is Wednesday, the 17th of July, 2013. Well, the busy period of weather continues. It looks like it actually might become a touch more busy. First of all, we're still dealing with some lingering hot and humid conditions with heat indices, and that's what the actual temperature feels like outside as heat and humidity are combined. And those readings will be well into the 90s. And that'll last all areas, especially northern lower Michigan, through the remainder of this afternoon and then again Thursday afternoon, leading to some impacts of potential heat exhaustion and heat stroke. So please take necessary precautions. And then thunderstorm activity will be on the increase. Already beginning to see some of that across eastern upper Michigan. That'll spread across the rest of the area tonight, and then again especially Thursday night into Friday. And there is a potential for some damaging winds and very heavy rainfall with some of these thunderstorms. You can see on the current weather map, the impetus for some of those showers and thunderstorms is that weak cold front you see dropping across central Lake Superior with a large heat dome centered over Illinois. Now moisture continues to pinwheels between these features into eastern upper Michigan, and with the help of that front and some lake breezes, that has kicked off a narrow line of showers and thunderstorms, some locally heavy across eastern upper Michigan. And that should be pretty much the trend through the overnight. Some of those showers and storms may attempt to sag south into northern lower Michigan. We're not expecting any type of widespread severe weather. However, any stronger storm may produce some localized damaging wind gusts along with some heavy rain. And that'll be a story on Thursday. That front continues to ever so slowly sag south, bringing additional showers and thunderstorms to much of the area. Pretty scattered about the area. We're not expecting any widespread activity. And any storm will be capable once again of producing some damaging winds and very heavy rainfall. Now the main event looks to hold off into Thursday night and Friday as a secondary stronger cold front begins to push through the area. And that will exit the area by Friday evening. But before it does so, we may see a round of showers and thunderstorms Thursday night. Potentially the most significant portion of the event will be Thursday night, as what we call an MCS, a cluster of thunderstorms races out of the northern plains. Now, where exactly this tracks is still a little bit uncertain. There is some indication it may pass off to our north through Lake Superior in Ontario, and that's the case. We might see just some scattered activity Thursday night. However, there are also indications that complex of storms may turn southeast and race across the area, and if that does occur, we could see a rather substantial damaging wind event. So please stay tuned in future forecasts for some further updates, and hopefully we can nail down those details as we approach Thursday night. And then Friday, as the front moves through, it'll be highly dependent on what happens Thursday night with that activity. But at least from a pattern recognition standpoint, the front moving through the area during peak heating will provide additional chances for showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be strong to severe with some gusty winds, hail, and locally very heavy rain. And speaking of rainfall, you can see we really need the rainfall for one thing, and we'll get some, it looks like, especially the further north one goes. But by the time everything's said and done Friday evening, most areas should see at least some rain, and locally a half-inch or greater amounts. And of course, with thunderstorm activity, it doesn't take a whole lot of time to get some very heavy rainfall, and we may see amounts well in excess of an inch across portions of the area. Taking a quick look at the severe weather threat that was earlier mentioned, you can see tonight just a slight risk of severe weather across mainly central and western upper Michigan, although we can't rule out an isolated thunderstorm of severe magnitude across portions of eastern upper Michigan and perhaps northwest lower Michigan as we go through the night hours. And things begin to pick up Thursday, and once again, especially Thursday night, as thunderstorm coverage begins to expand, and watching that convective storm complex that may bring a higher impact wind potential Thursday night across eastern upper and perhaps northwest lower Michigan. Of course, that is subject to change depending on the path of that thunderstorm complex. And then you can see here on Friday, the slight risk across the mainly lower Michigan continues as that cold front begins to plow through the region. And that may kick off additional severe thunderstorms. Once again, that'll be very dependent on what happens Thursday night, however. And then after that front sweeps through later Friday, much refreshing change of air mass heading through the weekend. Temperatures back down, actually below normal levels in the 60s and 70s, and much less humid conditions. Looking at our rather busy weather story graphic here, you can see tonight scattered showers and storms. Greatest coverage, although they will remain scattered, will be across northwest lower and eastern upper Michigan. Mainly a heavy rain event where they do occur, although once again watching the possibility for some isolated severe wind gusts, especially across eastern upper this evening. Otherwise very warm and humid overnight, readings back down only in the 70s, with dew points not much lower than those temperatures, so really muggy tonight. Recapping those hazards, once again, a heat advisory has been issued for northern lower. It continues to remain in effect right through into Thursday night, with a combination of heat and humidity leading to temperatures that actually feel like more like the 90s during the afternoon hours, and that'll be through the remainder of this afternoon and Thursday afternoon, and mainly across northern lower Michigan. Now the biggest threat is shifting to thunderstorm activity. Once again, I already mentioned tonight's activity. There will be a chance of thunderstorms right through Friday evening. Severe storms are possible at times through Friday, with the primary threat once again being damaging winds and very heavy rainfall. The greatest risk for severe storms will be Thursday night and Friday. Now this concludes the Hazardous weather briefing for this afternoon. Thanks again for taking the time to listen. Your next update is expected around 5 a.m. tomorrow morning.